Hello, gorgeous souls. So first of all, apologies if you have been waiting here to catch me live for the delay. I have no idea. Technology is not my strength. No idea why it wouldn't let me allow my laptop to connect, but I will amend this. It's not a huge deal because the reason why I wanted to kind of do it via Zoom is so I could share my screen. That's not overly important for today, but it will be for the other days. So I will give you my word that I will get this resolved before I go live tomorrow, which will be at 1 p.m. And then I was like, you know what? Let's just go via my phone. I know that that is going to connect. And then it was kind of a case of finding it in how to stand up. So where I usually work from, I'm not at the moment. Again, there's a lot of excuses coming out here, but let me just give you the context. A couple of weeks ago, have damaged my back. So I'm having to be very careful about my posture and where I'm seated. So at the moment, there's a particular place within which I'm working from, which is why everything wasn't to hand and I couldn't just do it very quickly. But we all now take a breath. I'm here. So I do have a beautiful treat for you this week. It was one of those, I'm an emotional generator, 6'2", and it was one of those like moments. So as an emotional generator, and a lot of this will unfold this week, I literally am not designed to make decisions in the now. However, I am designed to make decisions relatively quickly once I have mastered riding that emotional wave. So this event, Human Design and the Money Game, came through very quickly last week, and it was very clear that it was to happen this week. So that is why literally I think I advertised it, I marketed it last Friday, and we're here now on the Monday in the delivery of it. So it is a treat. I've been kind of contemplating what I wanted to share with you this week because there's a lot. For anyone that is on their human design experiment, mixed in with Gene Keys, there is a wealth of remembrance within these tools for you. And so it is about contemplating what I was going to share with you this week, because I want it to be in a way where you get to actually integrate this, where you practically step away from the live each and every day and you start to make a change, a shift, just a small tweak in how you're doing specifically business, but you can apply it to all areas of your life. In how you're doing business, so you can move how you're currently doing business so it's more aligned for you and your natural energy, okay? Now, there's always going to be nuances to all of this because there's such, again, a wealth within your chart that I'm going to give you pieces so you can practically make changes this week. But then there might be other pieces within your chart that are going to play out within that. And without really kind of diving in on a one-on-one level, those nuances are going to be challenging for me to kind of share with you as individuals this week. But I promise you, you're going to get what you need to start making those changes. And then moving on from the week, you decide if you want to go deeper. You decide how this is impacted you in how you're doing business and how you feel about your business, and whether you want to play deeper or not. Okay, so I've got a few notes because I kind of want to keep me on par. The first bit that I want to do is actually, I'm just going to go on my laptop now and check that I am live, check that you can all hear me. So if you can give me some hearts, if you can give me some comments to let me know who's there, let me know that it's all working okay right now. So Anne, I see you are there. Beautiful. I see some hearts and some thumbs up. That's great. That will just, Monet, my lovely, I see you are there. There we go. And I see me there. So, all right, that's the first bit. So we're all good. It's all running live. Obviously, if you're catching the replay, this part is kind of irrelevant for you. Excellent. Good. Okay, that gives me that sigh of relief that it's all good. You can all hear me, because the last thing I want to do is deliver all of this and then, there was no sound or whatever. As we move through this, feel free to ask questions, feel free to comment, feel free to provide feedback, whatever comes through for you. I'm a generator, so my strategy is to respond. So it really supports me in my gifts when I have things to respond to. And we're going to talk about that a little bit today, because there's always things to respond to. But if you have questions, do ask. If questions come up later, and that's okay, Elizabeth. Thank you for being here. And if questions, I've been late anyway, Elizabeth, so don't worry. And if questions come up after this, you are very welcome to post them in the group. Again, it gives me something to respond to. So essentially what I am here as a generator is to respond to energy, to whatever is coming in my field. And in this context, in this group, in this container, it's you guys. Yeah, for me to respond to you and your energy. So if I don't know what's coming up within you because you're like, oh, I have a question, but I don't want to ask it, then I'm not able to provide you what you need. Yeah, the whole context of life itself is we are in contractual relationships with everything in a give and receive. So if you want me to give you what you need, I need to receive from you. And that's going to be, again, in this space, in the context of questions, feedback, just communication. So, excellent. I see we have a question there. Maruna, apologies if I have pronounced your name incorrectly. Again, do correct me, okay? So there are going to be people in this space that are at different points of the journey. So again, that's why questions are going to be really beneficial, because you get to receive clarity on what you need at that moment in time. So Maruna, responding, what it means as a generator, you're a manifesting generator, nourished to human design. So just very quickly in a nutshell, and then if you want more, I will happily provide more, and we can do that outside of this live in a thread in the Facebook group, just so we can kind of keep focused on what this live is about. So essentially, if you are a manifesting generator or you are a generator, and if you are at this point now in this live and you're like, I don't know what I am, you need to download your chart. Yeah, both your human design and Gene Keys chart. There's a thread in this group called Welcome. There's links within that thread on how you can get your free charts, because a lot of this, if you are not going to relate it specifically to the information that is in your chart, it is literally not going to make any sense, and it's just going to sound like a whole whirlwind of information, and there will not be any integration for you, because the idea is the information I provide to you this week, you then look at your chart and your specifics that are in your chart and make it applicable to you, so you can practically start to implement. So as a generator, manifesting generator, and we're going to talk about the types, the auras today, and really how that relates to business, is our strategy, I'm a generator, is to respond. And essentially what that means is we are responding to everything and anything in our environment, okay? And we are responding from our body, and our body is providing the yes or the no with what we have energy to invest in that moment in time. Okay, so that's what it means to respond. And that might be through people. Yeah, so someone is asking you something. Can you do this for me? You determine within your body, do I have energy to invest in doing this for this person now? Yes or no? And that provides your answer. Okay. And I've seen it a lot, especially with the generators, manifesting generators, and even with my husband. So we have 6-year-old daughter, and she is always asking him to do things, and he is not always responding correctly because he wants to please her. So he ends up doing things, you know, that overgiving, that people pleasing, but it's not in correct energy. And so it doesn't create a win-win in the dynamics of their relationship. And so it's beneficial for all humans on this planet is to learn the correct use of your energy. And really, in a nutshell, that's what human design is. It provides you an insight into that correct use of your energy, because when we start implementing and using our energy in a way that is correct for us, it really puts us into the correct trajectory for our soul's vision and mission. And really, that's kind of what we're all here for. Yeah, we want to live a life in a way that really fuels us. Again, we're looking for win-win relationships, always, with everything, other people and with life itself. So when life is providing for you, is giving you something, are you open to receiving this? And then are you able to give back to life through your decision making, through determining what is the correct use of your energy? So that is why the fundamental parts for anyone that is new to human design, if you're not new, I guarantee you've heard this a gazillion times, is your strategy and authority. They are essential because they are your decision-making tools. We are moving into an era where we are deeply trusting within ourselves, because we have lived a life so far where our authority has been given away externally. It started off when we were children to our parents. We listened to our parents. They told us what to do. They told us who we are. We started to identify through their non-serving beliefs and conditioning. And that's how we've perpetuated kind of all of these non-serving patterns throughout the world. I've lost my train of thought. Where was I going with this? So essentially what we're learning now is, that was it, all about authority, is our inner authority. And that means our body. It's our body's response to something. So yes, mindset is important, and we play a lot with that within human design in determining the not self, but it's our body's response. It's our body's reaction, and whether it feels expansive or contractive, that helps us to determine our true yes. Okay, so Elizabeth says I'm about to hit my mouse, but I'm on my phone, so that's not gonna matter. She's not new to human design, as I know in Gene Keys. Obsessed with both for 3 years, absolutely. Still contemplate, I'm trying to touch so my phone doesn't fall. Contemplate and embody your child on a deeper level of all times. Love hearing your and others' perspective on it. I agree with that, Elizabeth. Actually really listening to perspective of others. It's such a beautiful way to get a lot of different insights into you and your chart, essentially, because again, you then use your inner authority. And if you're like, I don't know what my inner authority is, again, go look at your chart, your human design chart, and it will literally say what your inner authority is. So mine is, this is why it would be good for me to share my screen, but I'm not able to today. Mine is an emotional authority. So essentially, I ride the emotional wave, and when I'm in a neutral emotional space, I am then able to make decisions. Okay, so when you're hearing other people's perspectives, you then determine by your inner authority what feels good for you, what feels correct for you or not. Okay, so wherever you are on your journey, if you desire more clarity in the information I'm going to provide over this week, if you have questions, please do ask them, because we're all going to be, everyone in this group is going to be at a different point on their journey within human design. So I'll just do a very brief introduction to me after this little blurb at the beginning. So my name is Jones-Miranda, and I have been on my human design / Gene Keys experiment now for around 7 years. It started when I fell pregnant with my daughter. That was a huge pivotal moment in my life. It was like this unveiling of really this deep desire into who I am and what I'm here to do. And it was really, the whole journey has been about reflection and looking at who I have been being and whether that is true for me or not. And human design and Gene Keys have played such a beautiful role in this journey, because it's provided a tool for me that's helped me in this like rediscovery of who I am on a soul level. So my journey first started with human design. I discovered it first of all via a woman called Paige Michelle, and she offers such beautiful perceptions on the tool itself. And that was my first. So I discovered human design before Gene Keys, and I was like, whoa, this is great. And like most people, really kind of stayed within what I call the table at the top. So it was like, yes, I'm a generator. I'm a 6-2 generator, and I know what that means. And I was allowing that to, I guess, create this label for me. Okay. And I'll elaborate this on in a while. And the actual body graph itself, so when you're looking at your human design chart, that's the bit where you see all of those like different shapes, whether they're colored in or not, and all of the numbers and whether they're colored in or not, and the two tables that are black and red that say personality and design. I never dived into those parts in the beginning, because I was like, I don't really understand what that means. So it felt very safe just to remain in, I know what the different types are, and I understand what my profile is, and kind of stay in there. And then I left human design for a short time because I was like, it seems a lot within that. It all feels very overwhelming. And I discovered Gene Keys, and that just felt like home to me. And I've seen this journey a lot with my clients, where they have a preference to human design or Gene Keys. And in what I've witnessed over the years, it's very much whether they feel more familiar in the masculine energy or the feminine energy. So if there's this familiar state in masculine energy, I have found that the pattern is people prefer human design. It's like, just tell me how I'm here to do things. Just give me the practical pieces and I can go on my merry way. And if people feel more familiar in the feminine, they love Gene Keys. Let me go into that contemplative journey. Let me really dive into the essence of who I came here to be. And what I have discovered is actually like the opposite tool that you really want to dive into. So if you feel very familiar in the feminine, you really want to start to learn and to implement and integrate your human design. And if you're very like, hey, I'm great here in the masculine, then you really want to kind of learn and implement your Gene Keys. Of course, that's very generic. We are unique individuals, but that's kind of the pattern that I've seen using these two tools. Now, on my journey, what I ended up doing was really almost getting obsessed with both of them and loving both of them and the differences that they bring to me and my journey and my clients and their journey. And now I won't use one without the other, because I just don't understand why people only focus on one and not the other, because both of them are such incredible tools to really give you this beautiful, bigger perspective of you. Now, I'm a 6-2, so that is my sixth line that is playing out. You know, it's very much about the future. It's very much about looking ahead. It's very much around that bigger picture, that bigger perspective. So I can see how that plays in. And this is another reason why I love human design and Gene Keys, because it can be challenging for us to understand the different perspectives of others. So again, I'm like, why are people not using these together? Why are people not looking at the bigger picture? Because they're not necessarily designed to. They bring a different gift. They bring a different perspective. They bring a different strength, a different talent to the table. So it's not that it's like my way is correct and everyone else is wrong and you all need to listen to me. It's actually what human design has really done for me, my family, my clients, is given us this permission for everyone to be themselves, for everyone to be different. And for me specifically, I don't need to change anyone. It's given me that. It's given me this understanding that we all have such beautiful differences that we bring to the table. And it doesn't mean that I'm less than, they're more than, or I'm more than and they're less than. It's literally that we are different. And it's actually celebrating and embracing and giving permission for our differences, that is what is going to bring the change in the world that we need. It's no longer about, everyone being like a sheep and just following everyone else. It's actually embracing the black sheep in all of us and saying, you know what, that is my gift. That is my strength in this world, and sharing and shining that. And human design and Gene Keys have both helped me and with my clients to really give that permission. So human design I see as like the masculine. It's like how you're designed to do things. And in this week, we're going to really look at how you're designed to do business in alignment with your design. And Gene Keys is more of the feminine. It's who you've come here to be. And what I love with human design is it can really help get us that logical reasoning, because we all know, we're energetic beings, we're souls that are here in, this meat suit, we've incarnated in a physical body, but at the end of the day, we are still humans as well. And when we are able to get our mind on board with what we feel within our body, because that's what we're looking for, is that mind-body connection and mind-body agreement. That's what alignment is. Then it gives us that breath. It gives us that space to go, okay, I get it. I see it. I am it. And human design, for me anyway, has really helped bring my mind on board with what I already felt about me. It's like the feelings, the sensations, this inner knowing of who I am was always there. And it was just the conditioning and the programming of my mind that didn't enable me to see that. That's in human design speak, what we call the not self. And we're going to explore that a little bit this week. So Elizabeth has said she loves both together as well, was more masculine, so Gene Keys now more balanced. However, I really don't want to knock my phone over. It's not letting me see the bit below. We'll come back to that. That was the same for me, Elizabeth. I was very much like, Gene Key just felt safer, if you will. But then when I kind of leaned back and brought myself back into that harmony, I was like, okay, yeah, this is going to support me on a number of levels. So in this space, what we're going to do this week, how it's going to run is every day at 1 o'clock. I'm going to be going live in this space, and I'm going to share with you parts of your charts, both human design and Gene Keys, that you can look at so you can make tweaks and shifts and changes specifically within your business. So it's going to feel more in alignment for you. So this is going to really support you if it's like you've got this feeling of who you are. You kind of know who you are. But for some reason, when you are then choosing to share this with the world, so, in your marketing, in your content, in your selling process, there's a mismatch. It's like you can't share that feeling, that sensation of you clearly in the world. Yeah, when you're when you're being the CEO within your business, it can often feel quite overwhelming. It doesn't light you up, essentially. It doesn't bring you that joy and that enthusiasm that we desire in our life and in our business, because it's that joy and desire and enthusiasm that will create that momentum and that movement. And it's like, you're here to do beautiful things. You've really got this sense of what you and your gifts are, but we will talk about that more later in the week as well. But it's the disconnect in the channeling of that sensation, of that energy, and really sharing that with the world in a way that also lights you up. Okay, so that's what I would love for you to get some clarity on. So now when you step away and you are marketing yourself and you are selling yourself and you are creating content, you can make these small changes so it's going to feel very aligned for you and your natural energy, your frequency. Okay, because we all know we're energetic beings. And so when we are marketing and selling and creating content, when we are in our correct frequency, that is what is felt. And what we are here is to be the point of attraction for our fractal family, because they are the people that are going to bring to us what we need. That support in our life and in our business. Again, remember, it's the give and receive relationship that we have. So it's really, we want that with our fractal family, because they are the people that you are designed to not only give something to, but to receive something from. It's when we then have that reciprocation within our life and within our business. So that's essentially what it's all about. It's just being that point of attraction for your fractal family. And you are only that point of attraction for them when you are operating in your unique frequency. Like, end of. Like, for me anyway, I don't feel there's any argument within that. And there's a lot of pieces that make up that frequency, of course. Human design can really help bring an awareness to those things that impact your frequency, even down to the point of digestion. So we're not going to dive into that this week, but if you look at your 4 arrows, they highlight to you what supports you in terms of your digestion of food and of information, the correct environment for you, the cognition for you, your perspective. And so we can change our lifestyle using human design in a way that really supports us and our natural energy. And that is when we will consistently feel energized and be in the correct perspective and open for inspiration, for ideas. And again, have that energy where we're going to really create movement and momentum continually. It's not to say we're not going to get tired. We're human beings. We're physical beings. Our bodies will get physically tired. We will then rest. But then when we wake up in the morning, we're good to go again. Because that is the life that we've created. We've created patterns. We've created habits. We've created behaviors. We've created systems. We've created structures in a way that fuels us. So we're not really required then to get our energy from outside systems, because it's happening internally. Okay. So this week, every day, we're going to dive into a part. It is business focused. Okay. This entire week is business focused and money focused. Okay. It's called human design and the money game for a reason, because when you make changes within your business, then you're going to be open to receiving more money that will flow through your business. But there is also an element where you have a specific relationship with money. And we're going to dive into that towards the end of this week. Because when I say that, your relationship with money, it's very much about how you're designed to interact with money. And when you're interacting with money, when the purpose of why you're receiving money is because of this style of interaction, you will then consistently be open to receiving more money. So we're playing with those 2 elements this week. I would love for you all to have read that welcome post, because for those of you that let me know that you are catching me either live or the replay, it's fine. You know, we're in different time zones. I fully understand that, you know, a lot of you will be catching replays. When I'm in spaces like this myself, invariably I catch the replay. But let me know when you're catching the replay. Just do #replay, because then I know that you've watched it. So for people that have participated, just by letting me know that you're on either live or in the replay throughout all 5 days, for people that have done their welcome post, and for people that are like engaging and interacting in the group, asking questions, asking for clarity and so on, you will then be entered into a draw, and I will be giving one person in the space a prize, and I will announce that early next week. So everything you need is in that welcome post. Go and read that if you want to be entered into a prize. Also, you are very welcome to share the link for people to sign up. So if you know of people who this will benefit, then please do share the registration link, because I want to get them into the automated system, okay? Otherwise, they're going to lose out on the full information, so not just the Facebook link. And people can join anytime this week. I'm going to leave this space open for a couple of weeks afterwards. So for those that are on replays, you can come back in if you want to come back in and catch, watch some of the lives again and again. You're very welcome to. You're going to have a couple of weeks for that. I will let you know next week when this group will officially close. Okay. So people are very welcome to join, and I would appreciate any shares for that. So let's dive in. Okay, so over this week, I'm going to highlight parts in your charts. You really do need your charts to hand. I will make a point to ensure I can do the others of these lives via my laptop, so I can share my screen, so I can point you to the parts of your charts, both human design and gene keys, that you want to be looking at. It is a deep dive. Yeah, and when I say a deep dive, I mean like a dive down deep into you. A lot of people talk about expansion, and yes, it's a beautiful thing. That's where you expand your energy out, okay? And when you expand your energy out, okay, so imagine my arms are wide open right now, you're able to have a wider space, an expansive space to receive in. But there is also a part of you that wants to go deep. And the reason for that is it anchors you into the physical, into who you are as the human being that you are in the now. It provides you this strength, a strong spine to then receive all of that expansive energy. Because with that expansive energy, it comes more. It comes, this space of okay. And so we really are required to have this strong inner strength to receive that. So it's both. We're never in an era of it's this or that. It's both. So a lot of the work I do is more about that. It's a diving deep and providing this strength, this certainty of who you are. So that's what we're going to go on this week. And when we go on that journey, it's going to change you on a cellular level. So yes, it is about mind-body connection. You want to be able to change yourself on a deep cellular level and activate the gift codes that are within you. So you're operating in your healthiest expression at all times. And that's essentially what your purpose is here in the world. That's who you have come here to be. Yeah, is to share the healthy frequencies within you with the world. Okay. So the first part that we are going to look at. So again, I want to give you practical pieces to walk away with. And even then I'm sharing, healthy expressions, and then, I can go and share what that means in the context of gene keys. But I do have to be mindful of my time and your time. And I do want to be precise with what I'm delivering for you this week. So again, if you have questions and you want clarity or to deepen into anything that I don't dive into, please ask, okay? Because we can find a way within which you can always receive what you need. So the starting point in how you're designed to do business, okay? And again, we're physical beings. Yeah, I know this is all about an energy game and who we're here to be, but we have to do things in order to, put ourselves in the correct place with the correct people at the correct time in order to then receive what we're designed to receive. So it's not about just sitting on a sofa and just, crossing your fingers and wishing and hoping and praying. You have to practically do things. Yeah, the process that I teach is called practical alchemy. And it really is through the doing that you then really go on your self-discovery journey. And, it's not for everyone, because you have to have a point where, you know, you've got a strong spiritual toolbox that you can dive into that's going to support you in all of the sensations and all of the distortion that will come up in your system through the doing. So it's like you're doing the two things at the same time. You're doing it and cleaning up your energy at the same time. Okay. So yeah, when I say it's really a starting point in how you're designed to do business, I mean that, do. And that is in your aura and your profile. So these are the two pieces that we are going to look at today. And then moving forward, we're going to dive into the energy centers. And that's when you're looking at your chart, at the body graph itself, it's all of the shapes and whether they are colored in or not colored in. Okay. And then we'll dive into deeper pieces with that. So we want to start because we have to start somewhere, really. And we want to have a very strong foundation within which we're doing business. So we've got that strong spine. Imagine yourself like a tree. You've got a strong spine. That's that strong trunk of the tree. And that is what is going to allow your branches to grow out, allow you to bloom. Without that strong spine, without that trunk of your tree, like there's nothing to build on. So it is important. And I know for some people that are on their human design journey, it's like, oh my God, I've heard this a gazillion times. But again, as Elizabeth said earlier, sometimes how it's delivered via a different perspective can provide that like aha, that revelation for what you need to integrate it deeper into you. Okay. So what we're looking at when I say aura, let's start with aura, is your human design type. So if you're not sure what that is, go and look at your human design chart, and there's in the box at the top, it says type, and there will be one of 5 words given. It will either say generator, manifesting generator, projector, manifester, or reflector. And I would love when you share your welcome posts in this space to let us know what your type is, your type in your profile. I would love to know what they are, because when I'm answering your questions, that's going to help me provide specific feedback for you. And then if I want a little more, I'll dive in a little more for you. Okay. So when we're looking at the types, okay, what we're looking at is the aura of these types. So there's 5 different types, but there's 4 auras. And the reason for that, and the aura won't be on your chart, but I'm going to give you what those are, is because a manifesting generator is actually a subtype of a generator. So in this context, when I'm talking today, generators and manifesting generators, you're going together. So it's generators, manifesting generators, projectors, reflectors, manifestors. That gives us our 4 right there. And what your type determines is what your aura is. And this is what you are broadcasting out into the world. Consciously or subconsciously, it doesn't matter. It's a very natural way for you to be. And it is the aura that you are emitting out into the world. So when you walk into a room, even if you are not a conscious being, this is what people will feel. Your work in understanding you and your type and your aura is to own that and not be trying to project a different aura. Because that's when people are like, well, I'm feeling this, your natural order in accordance with your type, but you're trying to be this way, potentially a different aura of another type. And that's when it creates that disconnect and people are like, I can't connect to you. I don't, like, I'm feeling this, but you're being this way and it doesn't make sense. So it's about learning you, your type there, and the aura that comes along with that, and really owning that about yourself. okay? Because we have to remember that the majority of us have been raised not in accordance with our human design chart, not in accordance with our strengths, gifts, and talents. We've been raised in a way that our parents, that our teachers, that other authority figures believed were correct through their not self. And so that's where this dismantling and the deconditioning work has to come in. So you may be trying the facade you're putting on, the mask that you're putting on, to emanate another aura that is not naturally you. And so again, when you walk into a room, people are like, well, this is what I feel, but this is who you're being. And it doesn't make sense. Okay. So you want to own this. And this provides a fundamental piece in how you are designed to run your business. Okay. So if you are a manifesting generator or a generator, your aura is said to be, it's like open and enveloping. It's a warm hug, basically. So when you walk into a room, that is how people feel. You are very open. You're very like enveloping, and it's like you really want to give everyone a warm hug. Now, if your not self, your mind, is trying to protect you from people because danger, 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 and therefore you are not owning that you are an open and embracing human being, then your not self is going to be disconnected from your aura, if that makes sense. Okay. So what we want to determine in business, I mean, this is in life, but specifically in business, when you walk into a room, and that can be in an online space, when you are sharing something, does it emit this aura? Does it have this frequency within it? Okay. Because again, when you are going, oh yes, this feels very open for me to share. This feels like this piece of content I'm sharing is a warm hug for the readers. Then what will happen is you will be, sorry, I got distracted by the comments there. I'll come back to the comments shortly. What will happen is you will then be given back, from life itself, okay, something to respond to. And so that's a question that you always want to be asking yourself as a generator, manifesting generator. Like, how does this feel? Like from me, like through me, if that makes sense. Yeah. Because if it's like, doesn't feel open, if that makes sense. So if you're like, oh, I'm sharing this, but I can feel I'm closed off, then no matter how many pieces of content you share online, people won't feel you. So they might read your content or not, but even if they read it, they don't feel your energy, your aura infused in it. And so that's when you get the feedback where it's like, oh, well, that's good. But move along. It doesn't create the impact you desire. So that's one piece, okay, that you want to kind of feel into. And another piece, and I am aware of time, okay, because I really want to move into the profile. So I might kind of speed this up a bit. And then again, if we have questions, we can, what's the word? Yeah, we can explore these in another way at another time. Okay. So another way to determine this is as a generator, manifesting generator, your not self theme is frustration. So if something feels frustrating for you, you are in your not self. You want to stop, tweak, shift, change before move into the state of satisfaction and then do, and then move. Okay. And it's the same concept for all of the types, but you have different auras and different not self themes and signature themes, we call them, which is your self theme. So this is going to be the practical piece that I'm going to give for everyone as your homework for today. So if you are a generator, a manifesting generator, I want you over this week, and you're very welcome to share your findings, your successes, even, you know, what's coming up for you over the week. I want you to really be discerning when you are in your not self theme of frustration. And in that moment, ask yourself, what would feel more satisfying for me right now? Okay, so I'll give you an example for me earlier. Coming on, trying to get my laptop to work, not working, frustration. I'm acutely aware I'm in my not self theme. I'm in my frustration. My energetic state, my frequency has shifted. It's changed. I'm in my not self theme. There's a gazillion stories playing out in my head. Yeah. At that moment in time, the distortions in my system are being felt. So in place of, you know, having to pause my life and go, okay, let's look at all of this one by one, I merely ask myself, like, how can I feel more satisfied right now in this moment? What would support me in shifting my state to that feeling, which is my signature theme, which is my true self? And in that shift of that state in me, I will then perceive the circumstances, myself, the situation differently and open up for the solution. And the answer was, how would I feel more satisfied? To go live, to, you know, hit the live button. So rather than continue in the vein of frustration to get my laptop to work, what was important for me, what would create that feeling of satisfaction is to deliver this live. And so I was open to solutions. Okay, use the phone, set that up, we're good to go. And so it's that. It's being very open and aware to your state. And instead of that forcing and pushing and really, you know, like it's got to happen a certain way, shifting your state for generators, manifesting generators, from frustration to satisfaction. Apply that in your business, your day-to-day run-ins of your business, behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, and it will create a change in how you're running your business. And what I mean by that is you're not going to force and push. What's going to be more important than what you're doing is how you're feeling when you're doing it. And that is what actually connects us. And again, opens us up for the solutions that we're seeking in how we can change, like what and how we're doing our business so it feels better for us. Okay. For our projectors, your aura is penetrating. Okay. So if you are a projector, and again, you look on your chart for this, you penetrate the aura of others. So it's literally as it sounds, like you're going in, and the bit that you penetrate is the G center, the magnetic monopole, which is all about identity and direction. So projectors in the business sense are said to be our advisors. Generators in the business sense are said to be the builders. You're here to build. You've got energy to build things. Okay. Yeah, you've got that open, that enveloping aura. Your choice is, what do I want to invest my energy in? What feels satisfying for me? That's it. And that's how you will continue to build. Projectors, you are our advisors, okay? Doesn't mean you don't have energy. It means that your strength, your gift, part of the beauty for you is to be able to guide the energy of others, because you just know what's correct and what is incorrect use of that energy. And again, we're all designed to do this in a team. Yeah, like manifestors, projectors, reflectors, generators, manifesting generators, we're all designed to be a team in this and to work together. But we have to, again, accept what our type, what our aura is, so we can do that, if that makes sense, yeah? Because otherwise, you know, if you're a projector and you are trying to be a generator and to build, like it's not going to support you in your natural energy. You're not really sharing you and your gift with the world. And like, for me, I'm just like, well, that doesn't make sense, because on a soul level, this is who you chose to come here and be. Now, on a mind level, you might disagree, but that's your not self. Yeah, so if you want to live a life that's in alignment with your soul, we have to accept these parts of us, whether our mind wants to agree or not. And that's what will release the resistance that is within us in living the life that we actually came here for. So as a projector, what you do is your aura, when you walk into a room, people feel you penetrate them. And it's almost like they're like, oh my God, no, they see me. They know what's good for me and what is not good for me. Now, the key for you is in your strategy, which is to wait for the invitation. Because if you are offering guidance, advice, suggestions when you haven't been invited to, it will be met with resistance. And that is when it will create an energetic dynamic with that person that's going to leave both of you feeling, in the projector not self theme, bitter. You're going to be feeling quite bitter about because you're like, well, I offered you this direction, this guidance, and it was beautiful, and you didn't receive it. And that's going to leave you feeling bitter. And that person's projection of like, oh my God, I didn't enjoy like what you told me, you're going to then feel that and you're going to identify with that. And it just creates this mess. So your strategy is very important in that waiting for the invitation, because then what happens? You've penetrated this person's aura, their G center, that magnetic monopole. And then you're able to give them the guidance they are ready to receive. And what will then be projected back to you is your brilliance, is your magnificence. Yeah. And then you're going to feel recognized and go, whoa, amazing, awesome. Let's do this again. Okay. So a question for you, my projectors, is when you are doing anything within your business, within life, okay, and it's feeling a bit bitter for you, pause. Ask yourself, what feels successful for you? Because success is your signature theme. When you feel successful, when you feel that, you project that into the world, okay? And with that penetrating aura, other people will also feel successful. So you can see how it all kind of ties in with and for each other. So again, we're all designed to play together, to work together in a way that really supports us and our energy. So our manifestors, you have what is called a closed and repelling aura, okay? And oftentimes people go, oh, that just doesn't sound good. So when you walk into a room, it's very challenging for people to feel you. It's very challenging for people to really get to know you. And the reason for that is because your gift is to really be in your uniqueness. So your strategy is to inform. So let's say you walk into a room, okay? People are like, whoa, okay, this feels a bit off, or like I can't really feel like what this person's about. There's definitely no warm hug going on here. And then they just inform you what they're going to do. I'm going to go and I'm going to change the TV channel, or I'm going to go and, into a different room. You are informing others of your actions, not for permission, not for guidance, but so they can then determine whether you are correct for them or not. Because when they're like, oh, you're going in that room, I might come with you. You go like, huh, okay, let's go. Because they are determining whether they want to kind of like, in the terms of projectors, penetrate, in the terms of manifesting generators, respond to your energy. As a manifester, you literally are here to do your own thing. So with manifestors, you are very connected to like the cosmic universe and to bring in the new. And so you've got to have this way about you to really bring in the new and go, you know what? This is what I'm doing. Are you in or are you out? It's like that. Are you in or are you out? There's no like reassurance. There's no, it's just you inform people what you're going to do. Are you in? Are you out? That's it. The not self theme for a manifestor is anger, and the signature theme is peace. So your question for generators, manifesting generators, I said it was satisfaction. Projectors, it's success. For you manifestors, it's peace. When you are aware that you're feeling angry about a circumstance, about a situation, about a person, how can you feel more peace? And that is the next action piece to take within your business. Okay? And for our reflectors, which is our 1% of the population, your aura is very sampling. So it's slightly different to the generators, manifesting generators, open and enveloping, in the sense that you are sampling the aura of your environment and of others. So it's exactly as it sounds for you. You are reflecting back the energy of your environment and or of others. So your not self theme is disappointment, okay? And your signature theme is surprise. So when you're feeling disappointed by your environment, by other people, because that's what's going on, you're reflecting back. How can you feel a little more surprised in this circumstance, in this situation with these people? Okay? So that's the first piece that I would invite you into exploring, to make changes in how you are doing business in accordance with your type and with your aura. The next piece that we're going to look at today, and I am going to move through this piece quite quickly because I did want this to be an hour, and I feel like we're coming up to the hour mark now, but I do want to deliver this for you today. And that is around your profile. So again, go to your human design chart, look at your profile. There will be 2 numbers given. I'm a 6-2. Okay. And with your profile, it can really help you to determine how you're here to market and the style of content that you're here to create. Okay. So with your profile, there's 2 numbers given, and I like to call this, it's your personal paradox. So what you're looking with these 2 numbers is to actually live in harmony with them. So you blend them, yeah? You kind of flow between one and the other. And oftentimes, like one, it doesn't have as much attention as the other one. So one you feel more naturally aligned to be, and oftentimes that's your first profile number. So if I'm a 6-2, that's the 6. And then the second one, it's still a deep part of you. It's part of the roles that you've come here to play in the world. It's like, you know, imagine if you were in a movie, like this is your role in the movie. In your work with that paradox within you is to be in harmony, to really allow balance, if you will, of both of these profiles. The one I want you to focus on today is that first number, because that number is what becomes the brand in your business. So when we're talking about brand, I'm not talking about the visual imagery. I'm always talking about frequency. So in order to help people feel you and your frequency, with all of this, the first point is embodiment. If you're not actually being this way in your life, behind the scenes in life, like, it doesn't really matter what you do out there, because you are not embodied in the frequency of this. You are not a living, breathing being in the frequency of this. And, you know, that's your work. That's the behind the scenes work. But if you are being the embodiment of it, that living, breathing frequency, then there is a way with that first line, okay, in your profile. So again, I'm a 6'2", for me it's at 6, that you can do in your marketing and in your content creation that will support you. And I'm going to go through these now. So what we're looking at is the line after the decimal point. So in your human design chart, you'll look, it will say profile. It's the first number, for me a 6. When you look at your chart itself, you'll see there's personality and there's design. We're looking at the personality, the dot after the first number. So again, this is why it would be great for me to show my chart, but not. So my sun is 44.6. So I'm looking at the 0.6. When you're looking at your Gene Keys chart, go to life's work, and it's what comes after the point. So it will be, again, for me, 0.6. Okay. So let's go through these now. So if you are a line 1, the key frequency that you want to feel about you. So I'm going to deliver it in 2 parts. The first one is the frequency for you to be feeling. And the second part is really like how you're here to serve and marketing that will support you. All right. So you might want to have pen and paper for this part. And again, as you move through this week, just start to implement these changes. Just really give yourself that expansive feeling, deepen and anchor into the truth of who you came here to be. So you learn you and your unique process, you and your unique way. It's not one size fits all. We know this so much now, but you've got to learn your way. So we're going to learn your way of your brand line. That first number in your profile. So Anne says she's a 2. I would love to see, if you're on live or even catching the replay, what is the first number of your profile? Let's see what profiles we have here in this space. Okay. So I'm a 6. So when we come to the 6, listen to that and you'll see, how that impacts me and my marketing and my content creation. So we've got a 4 here as well. So let's start with that line 1. The feeling that you want to feel about you when you are selling, when you are marketing, is boldness. You really want to feel very bold in who you are. The line 1 is all about like investigation and becoming the expert. So whatever it is that you are selling or that you are marketing, it is really important for you to feel you are the expert in whatever that may be. So we can use human design as an example. If your first line is a 1 and you do not feel like an expert in human design, and that doesn't mean you are like the expert, you know all of the things. It's how you feel in what you are selling, in what you are marketing. You might just be marketing about the types, but you feel an expert in that. You really feel deep down, I know my shit, so to speak. And when you feel that and you claim, I am the expert, and you are really bold in your marketing and in your selling, people will believe in you. And they're going to be like, whoa, okay, yeah, like that's the go-to expert right there. I'm heading that way. I'm buying her stuff. I'm doing her courses. Okay. So if your first line is 1 and you are not very bold in your marketing and in your selling, that has to change. But again, it's not going to come from a disembodied place where I'm just going to shout a bit louder and hope for the best. It starts with you feeling that boldness, feeling the expert, and then you market and then you sell. Okay? You serve, how you serve is a line one, and you are very good at seeing through what others are trying to show you to cover up their fears. So think of this in terms of what I was just saying about that expertise has to come from an embodied place. This is also part of what you see in others. So you will see what people are trying to cover up. Again, that facade, that, like fake it till you make it type energy. You will see beyond that. You'll see the fear that is leading the way in that. Okay? And through the seeing of that, you're going to be able to support people with that. So when you're thinking in terms of who you're here to serve, it's that. Yeah, I'm going to fake it till I make it. Like, I'm here putting on this facade. I'm here doing all of these things, but behind the scenes, I am absolutely collapsed in myself. What is leading the show is the fear, not enough money, not enough clients, not enough in myself, whatever it is. There's a fear that's leading this, not that solid, certain energy. And as a line one, you get to support the people through that, through, first of all, who you're being. Okay. And then through you being that, you get to support other people in the world. With your marketing, you're very attuned to authority. So with your marketing, it has to come from a place of authority. Okay. So you got to make sure you know your field of study. And I don't want anyone that's a line one that is like, oh my God, I don't feel like I'm an expert in anything. It's going to take me months, years, or whatever it is. There will be something. There will be something. Okay. But it's more a case of creating a pause in you to really hone in on what you feel you're the expert at, as opposed to, again, listening to all the other authorities around you and just mimicking their voice. It's going to support you a lot more for you to create space to become the expert in your field of study. So if that means going and, taking a course, if that means diving in, creating space within your week to dive in a little more, to create that feeling, long term, it's going to serve you. Because then when you are marketing and then when you are selling and you are in that frequency of boldness, that is what people are going to feel. And that is your true self. And that is when it doesn't really matter what you're saying, what content you're creating. People are feeling your frequency. And this is what we're after here. We want people to feel your frequency. So what you're sharing, the words are kind of irrelevant, in a way, because what they're feeling is the energy infused. And that's where there's a lot of people spend a lot of time in the, the ABCs of the content they're sharing and, the visual imagery of their brand. And that's not to say that's not important. It is, but there's not the balance in and you and your frequency. It comes together. That's when you create the magic. Okay, so that's our line ones. For our line two, so Anne and Elizabeth, I saw that you guys are out twos in here. For you, let's see if you know actually. So Anne or Elizabeth, if you are still on, what do you think the key frequency is for a line two? Let's see. I'm just going to have a sip of water. And if you don't know, it's not a problem. That's why we're here. Okay. Oh, there we go. Elizabeth says passion and image. There we go. So, Elizabeth, correct. It is passion. Passion is the key word. So if your first line on your profile is a 2, it means your brand is a 2. It really is passion. Style and passion. You are here to really provoke people, to make them feel alive. The power for you lies in your branding, in your voice, in the imagery. So that's when Elizabeth said it is about the images for you, and really using that imagery, using those images that is going to provoke people to feel alive. Okay. The line 2 is very natural. It's a very natural way to be. And that is why passion is really the key frequency. Because if you, as a line 2, are not in the role of doing what lights you up, what you feel passionate about, what feels very natural for you, then people will not see you. So the same as with the line 1, who you're here to serve is you're able to see people in their true gifts and their talents, like what they're really naturally aligned to do, to be, what makes them feel alive, what they feel passionate about. Like, you can see that in others and you can draw that out in others. So for you, marketing is really about your natural gifts, okay? And it's really important for you as a line 2 to create space to go and be in your natural gifts. So this is where oftentimes the belief that we have about how to do business, more, hustle, work harder, really doesn't support a line 2, because I mean, maybe your passion for you is to, grow and build and scale a business, but oftentimes it's more of a very natural creative gift that you have within you. And so it's really important to create space for that. And to have a platform, so in terms of your marketing, where you can share that, not in a way where you're actually marketing, but just in a way where you are consistently sharing you and your gifts, and people get to witness it and people get to call that out for you. Okay. As a line 2, a publicist would be really beneficial for you. Okay, now that doesn't mean if you're not in a position where you can invest in one, I'm not able to market myself. You are. But again, it's a platform where you are consistently sharing you and your gifts. So it's less of a, like with the line 1, it's that boldness. It's like, I am the expert in this. You can come to me for this. Like, that's the marketing style that the line 1 has. Okay. Really marketing from that place of authority. That will not support a line 2, because it's like, it's a different frequency. For you, it's that passion. Sharing your passion with the world, and that deep trust and inner knowing that that's enough. That is what is going to bring the people to you. And less of that conventional, what we've been led to believe marketing is. Okay. And that is where as well, a publicist will, so if you're here to create your legacy and you're looking long term, for a line 2, you will want to invest in a publicist, because they're going to do the marketing for you, which is really going to provide that support in sharing you and your passion and your style, and through you being that example, provoking other people to feel alive in this world, because that's how our line 2s feel. Okay. Line 3. So line 3, okay, is all about humor. The frequency for you is humor. And there is a reason for this. So as a line 3, it's very much around trial and error. So if you are consistently in trial and error, i.e. learning what does not work, you're gonna need a sense of humor with that. Otherwise, life is going to feel very heavy and very depressing. Okay? That's why, essentially. You are here to share through your experiences, more specifically, what does not work and what does work. So I always use the example. It's like, let's imagine you're walking down the street and there's a big hole in the street. A line 3 will like fall down the hole. And the reason they will fall down the hole, their frequency will literally pull them into the point where they're going to fall down the hole, is because then they can learn from being down the hole, from being in the actual experience, what did not work, what does work, so they can then share that with the rest of the world. Our line 3s are here for change, like deeply rooted in change. So you are here to serve people that are really ready to pivot their work, that are really ready for change, okay, to do something different. And you can share with them through your lived experience what worked, what didn't work for you. So for a line 3, it's definitely not about being a sheep and, listening to everybody else. Okay, let's follow my, 5 steps to this. That will not work for you. Your lived experience is what works. And through that lived experience, you then share in that lived experience. So you want to market that lived experience, but specifically, this worked, this didn't work, this is the change it created. And then people will go, whoa, okay, that's great. Like through your lived experience, I now get to learn, okay? So for a line 3, with your marketing, you're really here to attract those ready for change. So it is about sharing you and your stories, but not in like, just sharing the story for the sake of sharing the story or being vulnerable for the sake of being vulnerable. It's kind of like after the experience, so you can really share from this reflective perspective, like this worked, this didn't work. And this is the change it created for me. It's that. Okay? So that start of content, that start of marketing will be really supportive. And then we've got our line 4. So line 4 is all about heart. Okay, our line 4s, I really feel for our line 4s because they have chosen to be the ones, the role they've come here to play is the one where we're moving into the transpersonal realm, okay? And it's very much around, they are learning about connection, they're learning about networking, they're learning about intimacy. And it's quite a scary place for them because it's like, it's new, let's say. So you are the bridge. If you have a line 4 in your first of the profile, your brand is all about the heart. Your brand is all about that bridge from the self, the interpersonal, to togetherness, the transpersonal. How we can really deepen our connection and that intimacy with others. That is like the frequency of your brand. It has to be through and from your heart, which means your work as a line 4 is really around nervous system regulation. It really is around emotional intelligence, remaining open in the chaos, remaining open in the conflict, okay? So people will really feel you when you speak, as long as you are being direct and vulnerable with them, okay? You're really here to put that heart back into business, which is kind of what we want, isn't it? So our 4 lines through your brand, you want to be sharing that. So you can see how, you know, we are all designed to be differently. And again, some of you might be like, oh, but I put heart back into business. You do, yeah. But if you're a line 2, passion is going to support you in your brand way more. So it's not like you can't have the other parts, but learn the line that your soul chose, the role that you came here to play, and really adapt that for your brand, because it's going to support you in your business. So for you as a line 4, you are here to serve by really recognizing how the externalized messages of your friends and family are influential. So this is where that networking for the line 4 comes into play, because for you, it's about your close tribe, your friends, your family, and you supporting them and deepening the relationship with them, which is why connection for you is incredibly important. Networking for you is incredibly important. Going out into other people's networks so you can connect is going to really support you in your marketing. So that doesn't mean you're going into other people's networks to market yourself. The intention of being in other networks is to connect. That's got to be the forefront. Remember, it's your heart, your heart, your heart. So you've got to be willing and able to go out into the world, into other people's spaces, and form those deep connections. And through those connections, those people become your friends. They become your family. They become your referral system. They become your affiliates. They provide word of mouth for you and what you do, and they bring people into your world that way. That is marketing for you. And our 5th line is all about wisdom. So our line 5, so again, we're looking at the profile, that first line, the line 5, it's very much around wisdom, and it's very much around practical leadership, emphasis on practical. I always see the 5 lines like this. It's like you're there in a room and you peer out from behind the curtain. And as you peer out from behind the curtain, literally all eyes are looking at you. And you're like, oh shit. Because the 5th line is the savior. You are here to save the world. It's also, a deep shadow frequency of the 5th line, because you're not here to save the world. You have to be very discerning within whom you are going to provide those practical solutions for, or you're going to close the curtain and never want to come out from behind it again. So as a 5 line, you peer out. All eyes look at you. Save us, save us, save us. You have to then discern, you, come here. And you listen to them and you provide the practical solutions for them. And then you go back behind your curtain. Okay? So it's your marketing style, your content creation has to have solutions. If there is no solution in what you are marketing, in the content that you are sharing, like it's not aligned with your 5 line. Practical solutions, okay? So it's almost like what you're doing is you share what the problem is and how you fixed it, what the solution was. That's it. Okay? As a 5 line, so remember, as we're moving through this, okay, first line, very interpersonal. It's that boldness. I am the expert. It's all about me. Me. Second line is all about passion. This is what I feel passionate about. It's very, a natural energy, but it's still about me. Third line is trial and error. It's all about going out there and learning what worked, what didn't work. This was my experience. It's still me. Fourth line, it starts to become about those connections. It starts to become about the heart. It starts to become about, okay, so like, let me connect with you. And then can you help me market my stuff? It starts to be about not just me, me, me. It starts to be about us, us, us. The fifth line takes that even more. Again, you're peering behind the curtain. Everyone is now looking at you. Save us, save us. It is about us. But the discernment for the fifth line is I'm not here to save everyone. However, you really are about bringing new people in. Because again, when you peer out behind that curtain, all eyes will be on you. So you have the potential to bring a lot of new people into your world. My real little caveat for you in this is make sure you're not in that energy of like, I will save everyone, because that is not going to support you in your energy, because they're automatically people are projecting that onto you. Okay. So for you, marketing, make sure you are marketing solutions, practical solutions. Make sure that you are in a space, you have platforms, you have ways where you are consistently bringing new people in. And our final one, and then I will be closing this live. It went on way longer than what I anticipated, but I hope it was beneficial for you. And then I'll just do a short what we're going to move into on the following days, and then we'll wrap this up. But let's do our sixth line, which is me. This is all about vision. Okay, so our sixth lines are what are said to be like on the roof. So when we're talking in terms of human design and gene keys, we're talking in terms of like hexagrams, because it's all based on the I Ching. And really what a sixth line is doing is looking to the next. It's looking to the line one of the next hexagram and what they need to investigate to become the expert in, so they can then spark off like the next. Okay, I hope that makes sense for me. And so it's all about vision. It's about the future. It's about the what next. And this was something that once I really dived into this, I could see so acutely in myself. And I was like, oh my God, yes, like I can't be another way. I could try, but it's not a natural way for me to be. Okay, very much around the collective. Okay. My brand, my entire everything I do is really how it relates to the bigger picture. Okay. It really is about that bigger vision. So my mission is to put self-expression at the heart of the education industry. My entire vision, my motto is like, together is better. I'm looking ahead. I can't look anywhere else. I'm looking at our children, the next generation, how we raise them. Can we raise them in accordance with their gifts, their strengths, their talents? My entire vision is what my playbooks are about, is really to put them in the hands of parents, is to put them in the hands of the education system, so we can raise the next generation, the future, in accordance with their gifts, their strengths, their talents. Again, it's not about everyone being like a sheep. Yeah, everyone being the same. It's actually to really embrace and to learn the differences of our children, the next generation. Like, it's so like, it's just like when I speak, when I feel into that, it's like I literally feel the trajectory from me, and it's like, it's huge. I know that, but it's also, I believe in it so wholeheartedly, and it's about creating steps that continuously move me in the direction of that, in the trajectory of that. Like, that's the sixth line. It's about that vision. And part of like for marketing for a sixth line, content creation for a sixth line, is to share your vision. The challenge in that is that not everyone can see it. And so oftentimes there's a sixth line where they're on the roof and we can feel quite alone, because it's like, but I can see how it can all be better. I can see the change. I can see like the new, the next. But then we've got all of our other lines, the line 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, that are here in the now and going, oh, hang on, no, we're doing our job here now. And so it can feel a little isolating. And again, it's learning these differences and how we can work together. Again, my whole motto is together is better, together is better, together is better. So as a sixth line, we and I say we because I am, we serve through the wisdom that has been attained through the 3-part maturation process. So as a SIG fly, in the first part of our life, we actually operate as a third line. Okay. It's very much around the role model. Marketing is very much around sharing your vision, sharing your experiences, sharing what you have learned. Be the example. Yeah, like really taking people into your world, not in the context of like, you know, like this happened, but really like share the experience, the journey that you went on. That will really support you, your marketing and your content creation. Okay, that was a lot, right? That's what I have for you today in terms of how you serve, which goes back to your types, your auras, and your style of marketing and the content that supports you. So I just went through all the lines for that. Please do ask questions, or if you want any more clarifications, etc. Any questions in the thread, I'll go back to and I will kind of answer them like later. What I do want to let you know is what we're going to be moving into tomorrow. So tomorrow is all about selling through human design. So how you can actually sell your launches, your offers, your programs, you know, like whatever it is. Okay, because there is a way that you are designed to sell. And then we're going to move into offers that you are here to uniquely create and your relationship with money. So we're really diving into, again, tweaks, shifts, changes you can make that is going to support you in the delivery of your business. Okay, because like that's like what I believe is required for most people. It's like there's a lot of us, we have this sensation, we have the knowing of who we are, but it's really in the delivery. And it's because we've been so attuned to the external authority and how business has been delivered thus far in a very like masculine dominated world. And now it's actually learning our unique process, our unique delivery, what really will support us and our natural energy. And so I'm hoping to give you little tidbits throughout the week so you can make those changes. Just before I go, would any questions, any clarity, anything thus far? I will be here 1 o'clock tomorrow because as soon as I finish this, I'm going to go and work out what, how I can go live on my laptop, because I do want to kind of share my screen with you. So tomorrow we're really going to be diving into selling through human design. That we're really going to be looking at the center specifically for that. And it's really going to support you in learning what we call like the electromagnetic frequency. Okay, because we're all designed to be point of attractions. And again, like we're not designed to, you know, serve everyone in the world. So when we're very clear on who we are and what we've come here to do, we can be very clear on who it is that we've come here to serve. So then when people step into our world, we can have that discernment in whether they are correct for us or not. Because we're not playing a numbers game. It's not, you know, I just want to have, you know, 1 million people in my world and then like that's enough. You want 1 million of the correct people in your world. Because if you have 1 million of incorrect people in your world, it's going to create not only a disconnect with you, but a disconnect with them. And it's going to feel hard and it's going to feel challenging. So when you are in this for the long term, when you are in this in a way that, you know what, I am happier to have one person that is absolutely correct for me over 1 million people that are not correct for me, because of how that's going to make me feel, because of how the energy it's actually going to generate within me and within my business and the trajectory that's putting me on, you're going to create magic and miracles. Okay. But that's the piece that you need to be in. You've got to be good with where you are now, knowing that it all gets to change and very quickly as well when it's you and your energy first, when you really are discerning in what is correct for you, what is not correct for you, who is correct for you, who is not correct for you. And you can make these small changes in how you're delivering your business right now to create a different outcome. Okay? That's it. That's what I have for you today, and then some. So I will give you my word. I will keep within the hour framework tomorrow, but it is another big one tomorrow. Yeah, setting through the open centers. We've got a lot that we're going to move through, so I'll probably start it and we just dive right in. Please do ask questions if you want clarity on anything at all. Just pop them in the group. Make sure you tag me just to ensure that I see them, okay? And do your welcome post as well. I would love to know you, what your designs are. I would love to kind of know a little bit about you, connect with you. Those that do share a welcome post and do show up on the calls, be it live or replay, will be entered into a draw and you will receive something from me for free, which will always be good. All right, my lovelies, that's it for today, day one. I hope it was beneficial for you. As a line 2, so I'm a 6-2, so I've got that 6 all about vision. My line 2 is all about, like that naturalness, that passion. And it's very challenging for a line 2 to see their own natural gifts. So feedback is always welcome for everyone, but I say specifically for our line 2s. So yeah, anything at all is welcomed. And with that, I'm going to say ciao, ciao.